Welcome to the Words to Empower podcast, featuring Bishop Frank Stewart, pastor of the Acts Ministry in Conway and North Little Rock. And now, Pastor Stewart.
Greetings in the wonderful name of Jesus. We are so thankful that you are tuning in as we are trying to explain and tackle this very important subject as we deal with Passover. Easter is coming up, and that is Passover. It's something that the Lord did in the book of Exodus. It's some things that he did. We just see Jesus shedding his blood, but it's impossible to understand the cross if we do not understand Passover, when it actually happened, what was going on, what was transpiring. And I believe that in Christianity, this is one of the huge problems that keep us from receiving what God wants us to have. So we've been walking through some scriptures. We started off with the promises of God. Jesus said, I come so you can have life, have it more abundantly. St. John 10:10. I come. So what? He says he came to earth so I could have life and I could have it more abundantly. So what did he do in the 21st century? Since he came to earth about 2,000 years ago, how is it that he can make a trip to earth 2,000 years ago and it benefits me now? Now, it's one thing to just believe. It's one thing to believe, and that's all right. But I'm saying when we don't have an understanding, we're lost. When we don't know why things work the way they work, then we're lost. Because an understanding of why things work the way they work, it increases our faith. It increases our faith to give us understanding and how to appropriate what Jesus did 2,000 years ago on a hill called Calvary, on an old wooden cross, what that's got to do with my life today. How does that impact my life today, beside me just dressing up in a brand new outfit on Easter Sunday, beside me just coming on Easter Sunday and not the rest of the year? How does what Jesus did 2,000 years ago, how does that affect me? I don't have a time machine where I can travel back to that. I can't travel back in the past 2,000 years and stand at the foot of the cross. How does it impact me today? Now, these are some questions that we may never ask, but we need to understand in order to receive what he's given unto us. What I said to you in Peter, what Peter said concerning what Jesus did, and it says that by whose stripes, verse 24, 1 Peter 2 and 24 says, by his stripes we were healed, past tense. It's in the past. He's already done it. He's already healed, delivered, and set free. So even though many believe just that, how to exercise it, how to apply it is something that we're missing, and we're not seeing the results of the extraordinary life that he meant for us to live. So if he came to earth so I could have life and have it more abundantly, and if I'm not seeing that, then his coming to earth is not impacting my life. It is doing nothing for me because I'm not seeing, I'm not experiencing why he made that long trip from heaven to earth and be inserted in the womb of a virgin and to die on the old rugged cross and be buried. That means nothing if I do not have an understanding. It doesn't mean anything to me when it comes to my life, the impact that it has on my life. Let's go to Psalms 103, first 4 verses. The psalmist says, bless the Lord, O my soul, and all that is within me, bless his holy name. Have you ever blessed him with everything that is within you? To bless the Lord with everything that is within you. Now, immediately when we think about that, we think about physical actions. We think about running, screaming, and I'm not saying that's not part of it. I'm not saying rejoicing is not part of it, but to understand what it means to bless him with all that is within me is a key component. See, one thing we learn is that we can't read over scriptures, because if we do that, we miss principles, because it's all interconnected. So if I miss something, then what I miss will keep me from receiving the results that I want to receive, because I've missed something that was very important. I missed the principle. It says, "Bless the Lord, O my soul, and forget not all his benefits," what God has done. The Bible says he loadeth us down every day with benefits. And we have to believe that. We have to believe that every day we wake up, God has given us extraordinary grace. He's given us incredible benefits. I believe that most children of God, they die without using their benefits that he has given unto us. Never experienced those benefits that he wants us to have. It says in verse 3, "Who forgiveth all our iniquities, who healeth all our diseases." Now that's very important. That's what I'm trying to get to. The same God who forgives all our iniquities.
Stay tuned for more of Frank Stewart. And now for some special announcements.
Thanks for partnering with the Acts Ministries. We value your service and your donations. That's why we've made it easy to make contributions to support our ministry. Simply go to your web browser and click the search bar and type in actsministriesonline.org. Then click Donate Online. It's really that easy. For mobile giving, text the amount you wish to donate to 501-302-4242. That's Simple Give.
And now, more of Pastor Frank Stewart.
It says he heals all our diseases. That's physical, that's mental, that's emotional, that's spiritual, that's financial. He is a healer. He's not restricted to one area. Think about it. When God was revealed as Jehovah Rapha at Marah, when the children of Israel went 72 hours without water, they came to a place called Marah. They couldn't drink the water because it was bitter. It was in that bitterness that God revealed himself as Jehovah Rapha, the God that healeth thee. Now think about it. Nobody was sick. This is not a time where they were sick physically. He's talking about healing whatever is bitter in our lives. Whatever it is, whether it's emotional. And brothers and sisters, most of our healing, the great need for healing in the world is emotional healing. And I don't know if you've heard or not, but the second greatest disease in the world in a few years will be depression. It will be the most debilitating disease in the world, second most debilitating disease in the world. And it eventually will become number one, because the Bible teaches us the amount of fear that is going to be upon the earth as we move through the last days. So emotional healing, emotional bitterness, and we know we lost emotional bitterness from unforgiveness, from things that have happened in our lives. Jesus said, I healed that. I healed that. They needed water. The water was bitter. He turned it into sweet water. How? He told Moses to throw a tree in the water. A tree. Think about it. There are some principles. There is some information we need to know on how God works, so we can walk by faith and not by sight, so our faith can be where it needs to be. If you don't know that, it'd be like putting water in your gas tank and expecting it to start. You'll say gas is liquid and water is liquid. What's the big deal? You have to understand there is a difference. So it is with understanding the Word of God. It'll make the difference. It'll make the difference between accelerating and standing still in life when it comes to the promises of God. So he says that he forgiveth all our iniquities. He heals all our diseases. Now, this is what I'm trying to get us to understand. All of us, is that if we believe he forgives all our iniquities, then we got to believe that he heals all our diseases, whether physically, emotionally, mentally. We have to believe that he does that. He does that. You cannot believe half a sentence, make one half of the sentence truth and the other half of the sentence untruth for a period of time. This is God revealing to us what he does. And he does this body, soul, and spirit. Because verse 4 says, who redeemeth your life from destruction, who crowneth thee with love and kindness and tender mercy. And we've seen him redeem our lives, our physical lives. We've seen him redeem our spiritual lives. The problem is in the emotion. So here again, here's another promise. Here's another promise that he's able to deliver us. He's able to heal us. He's able to remove us from a narrow place and put us in a large place, which we can talk about is in essence salvation. Right? So what do I need to know to make what he did on the cross applicable to my lives, to my life? Now watch what it says here. And let me say this in Matthew chapter 8 and verse number 17. Listen to this. That it might be fulfilled, which was spoken by Isaiah the prophet. See, now, what is happening, Matthew is interpreting what the prophet Isaiah said. So it's impossible to separate Old and New Testament and get an understanding. Without the Old Testament, we don't have the dunamis, we don't have the impact. We don't receive what we need to receive because we don't have understanding. We don't have understanding. So here he says that during this time, this is Matthew chapter 8, people came to Jesus. He cast out demons, healed them. He healed all who were sick, and that's, you'll find it over and over in the gospel. He healed all of them. 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 And it says that it might be fulfilled that was written by Isaiah. So here's the Bible interpreting the Bible. So if I miss the part that interprets the other part, then I have no understanding. So Matthew, what he is saying makes no sense unless I understand what Isaiah said. If I understand what Isaiah said, it makes me more equipped to apply the healing power, the delivering power of God to my life. So that's why Isaiah goes back and he says, this is what he was talking about. This is why you need this. This is why you need to understand this. All right. Let me bring it home a little bit. So you get to college and you say, I'm a writer. And you start writing a book, but you didn't get what you needed in elementary school. Nouns and verbs and adverbs and adjectives. You didn't understand that. But when you do understand it, then we take it for granted. Oh, since I understood it, I can do this, what I'm doing now, because of what I received much earlier. God bless you. Until tomorrow.
For mobile giving, text the amount you wish to donate to 501-302-4242.
The Acts Church in North Little Rock is located at 1224 Franklin Street. Morning Glory begins at 8 a.m. on Sunday mornings. Sunday school begins at 8:30 a.m. And for a powerful word, join us at 9:30 a.m. for our morning worship service. Bible study is each Wednesday at 6:30 p.m. At our Conway location, Morning Glory begins at 10 a.m. Sunday school begins at 10:30 a.m. Worship service begins at 11:30 a.m. On Thursday, our Bible class begins at 6:30 p.m. For more information, go to actsministriesonline.org or give us a call at 501-329-2055.
Thank you for tuning in to the Acts Ministry Podcast. The Acts Church is located at 1423 England Street in Conway and 1224 Franklin Street in North Little Rock, Arkansas. Tune in each day to hear an inspiring word from Pastor Frank Stewart.
I disrespected my parents at home, sir. I've been more of a leader than a follower. I've been trying to help others to stay on the right track.
Doing good is not really as hard as you think it is.
The Arkansas Youth Challenge is enrolling for young people 16 to 18 years old. If you're having trouble in school or at home, call 1-800-814-8453. We support Second Chances.